today I'm going to be showing you another Vevor mag drill. Now this is the mag drill that I actually wanted when I did the review last year. Now Vevor sends me this stuff for review, full disclosure, and I asked for the one that I'm going to show you today, but they sent me one almost as good, but there's a few differences, and you may remember some of them, and I'll remind you in this video the differences of why I wanted this one versus the one I did almost a year ago. They're both great mag drills. Don't take this wrong. It's just this one does have a little bit higher price point, but the options that this one has that the other one don't have, to me, is like daylight and dark. We'll talk about it. Let's get into it right now. So just like the mag drill I did a year ago, it comes basically in the same style box, this corrugated heavy box, and nothing punched through. It arrived here in great shape. Let's just get this out of the way, and I'm going to take this out for the first time. And you might be asking me, why do I need two mag drills? Well, when I got this one in, my oldest son was over here, and he's like, man, he goes, I need one of these, because we had to use it, the other one, on a little project that he had going on. And so I gave it to him. I gave him that one. And now this one did come with the annular cutters. The annular cutters, this came with a set of them, but they were in metric. Now last year when I did the review on that, they sent me, it didn't come with it, but they sent me some annular cutters that were in standard, like half inch, not, 5/8, stuff like that, non-metric. So I went ahead and let him have the annular cutters that came with this one. So I can't really show you them, but the ones I have from last year, they're the same thing. They're all made by Vevor. And yeah, they do have metric and they do have standard, just so you know. And I've had no issues, razor sharp. And if you did watch last year's video, then you will see where I popped 4 5/8 holes and some half-inch plate in like record time. It did beautiful. Go ahead and let's get all this out of here. There's the manual reservoir. That's for your cutting fluid. Now there's the chuck that came with it. That's for just regular twist drills. There's the handles. And there is a strap. That strap is if you use this in the overhead or vertical. It's just a safety net, so to speak. You run the strap through it around the beam, and in the event you lost power, and it lost its magnetism, it would not fall. It would catch it. That's what that's for. So let me get this out of the bag, bring you right back. All right, we got it unbagged, and I like to hang on to that bag. It's thick ply. When I'm not using it, I cover it just to keep the elements off of it. I mean, it's here in my garage, but we do get pretty humid down here. I make sure to oil up anything that can potentially rust. So let me briefly go over this and show you the differences. First off, this action right here is way smoother than the other one. I mean, that is great. But here is the major difference. Now, if you remember, if you watched that video, I'll have a card at the end of this one if you want to watch that, if you haven't seen it, to compare. But in that video, I talked about some of these models having this screw right here, and that model does not have a hex head bolt that goes in right here. Now, they have a double V-track on them. This one's set up a little different, and what that allows you to do on that model is raise this motor all the way up to give you more clearance here. So therefore you cannot adjust your motor up and down. I actually had to build something to elevate this at different heights if I wanted to use a twist drill, because you just ain't got enough room, to put a twist drill. This one's not all the way down, but it's close. The way this is, I could get most any twist drill. I think I'd have 4.5 inches, but watch this. I had 4.5 inches on the other one, but watch this. It comes with Allen wrenches, by the way. I can loosen this, and I can go way up here. I mean, I can come out with this thing if I wanted to. but yeah, plenty of adjustment. Or you can let it all the way down, just wherever you want it at. By the way, this thing will come completely off and out of here. And it's got, this actually pulls on a piece that clamps it on this track right here. Now, so you know, all of this is made out of titanium. This is not aluminum. That's, if you know anything about titanium, it's very hard material. So that's a really big plus to me. But you can put this wherever you like. Then we can go and see how much clearance we got. That would be good for any arbor bit right there. Now, if you need a twist drill higher than that, I just showed you how to do it. Fantastic. Now, the beauty of this, I don't personally do power tapping. I like to feel that tap going in. But if you wanted to, you could reverse this. And now it's in reverse. This has a reverse. There might be other reasons why you would need a reverse, but the option is there on this drill. Alright, so it says R and L. I'm not sure what that means, but R is, I guess, right-hand turn, and then L would be left-hand turn. Okay, well, now it makes sense. Took me a moment. I'm used to F for forward and R for reverse, but this is right-hand thread, left-hand thread. Makes perfect sense. But that's the other function the other one did not have, is the ability to go in and reverse. And I wanted that function because you never know. You know, if you get a bit hung up, like a twist drill like they do sometime, you can back it out. Also, they make left-hand drill bits, you know, and bolt extractors and things like that, and they would turn to the left instead of the right. Things are coming to me as I'm talking about this, but another great benefit of having this. So I went ahead and put the reservoir up here along with the hose. Now these hoses just push in. Once they push in, you can't get it out unless, let's say you wanted to move this thing or had to drill upside down. You would just push in on this blue thing and it comes right out, no problem. And the way this works is the cutting fluid, and I do recommend cutting fluid because it pours a lot like water instead of oil, but it actually goes through and drips out through the center of this arbor into the annular cutter. The way the annular cutter is designed with that pin has a flat side that will allow fluid to go by the and into the annular cutter right there on your surface. So that's pretty nice setup. And there again, you can push this in and remove this the same way, just like that. So they're not permanently locked in. There we go. Ain't going nowhere. And there's your little valve that you would turn to let the fluid start coming in. So these tops are not vented. This one has never been open, so I need to get this off of here. You could possibly pop your little vent hole in here, or just barely put it on there when you're using it, because if you really lock this thing down like that, you're not going to get any vent and you're not going to get any fluid. So I might end up popping a hole in this, or better yet, to stop it from evaporating, I'll probably just take it off or loosen it when I'm using it. That sounds like a better plan. Now this is all cast aluminum in here, and this is like I guess some sort of plastic, not really sure, but it seems to be a very strong motor. It looks like the same motor I might have had on the model last year, not quite sure. So here's all the information right here on the back. This is model MDP/50. Input is AC 120 volts at 60 hertz. Maximum power is 1450 watts. Speed is 0 to 800 RPM. That's pretty good range. Pretty good range. And I think most people know if you're drilling like a high-speed bit, you want that higher power. If you're using a bigger arbor, and I think this will cut up to 2-inch hole, but you want to slow that speed down to somewhere around 200 RPM. And we're going to try that here in just a moment and just see how this thing cuts. Now I've got some slugger. That's the cutting fluid I use. You have to mix it with water, And when I gave the other one to my son, it had a lot left in it from when I put it in there, but I've got a lot of that left. But for today, I'm probably just going to use some Tap Magic or something, and I'll deal with that a little later. Like I said, I went ahead and disconnected this to where I can get this clamp in here, and I'll add the slugger in here later. I've still got most of it left. I'm just going to use this Tap Magic to get this one hole in here. All right, so I've got some 3/8 mild steel, got it clamped down. Now I've got this lined up perfectly with one of these 5/8 holes here, to where when I punch through, I'm not going to drill through my table. But I've got it on number 2. This will go up to number 10. I've got it on 2. Bigger bit, slower speed. When you get the ribbons coming off instead of fine chips, you know you're cutting at a good speed. The magnet's on. Let's elevate it a little bit, turn it on. Let's see what it'll do. Oh, it's going through like butter. Perfect. You can see just how fast you can punch holes into something. That's 5/8. Punched in, no problem. I think my plug fell out. I think it fell through the hole here somewhere. Do I see it? Yeah, there it is. Ooh, it's a little warm, but there's a plug that I drilled out. And again, perfect machine looking hole there. There's the plug. Great job. And for any of you that's not familiar with a mag drill, this is the Weldon. This is the most common type of arbor bit. They do have a different one, I can't remember the name of it, but this takes 2 Allen screws. It's got flat spaces on these. I'll show you that here on another one. Like this one here, you got a flat spot and a flat spot. That's where those Allen screws butt up against it, and make sure they're tight. Now something I did also on my other drill is I took some copper anti-seize and put on the threads here, because these will be used a lot. Haven't done it on this drill yet, but I'll do that momentarily. We're just trying to get through the video here and show you what this thing can do. I'm loving it. I've got reverse now. I've got this ability to raise and lower this entire drill motor in the event that I take and I put this chuck on here, got a long twist drill, then I'm covered. I got everything I need. But I mainly want these drills for these right here, these annular cutters. This is where they shine. It runs real true. Now these chucks, on the other hand, I know on the other drill, I haven't tried this one, but on the other drill there's a little bit of play there, you know, a little bit of run out. And I don't expect this would be much different, but it will pop a hole in something if you need it. It comes with a chuck key, but primarily you would buy these for this ability right here. But there's the ribbons I'm talking about. That's what you want to see. When you got them coming out, you're doing perfect. You got that speed really dialed in. That hole is just as perfectly round as it can be. Very smooth finish on that. There's no run out on these annular bits that you use on this, and I've already gotten it out, as you can see. While I got those loose, I'm gonna go ahead and put that anti-seize on those, like I said, because those get used quite a bit. Now what I normally do is I've got some anti-rust, anti-corrosion type spray. I believe it's made by WD-40, and I like to take parts like this, all these parts, I'll leave that in a bag, spray some of that in here, because I am in a humid environment. This is not a climate controlled garage, it's just a normal home garage. And I also like to protect these cutters just as well. I noticed a speck of rust on that needle, so I want to go ahead and get those prepped up as well. Now also, don't walk away and leave your magnet on. These do warm up, they don't get hot. It's like, I feel the warmth on that, but just for longevity purposes, always make sure you turn that off when you're not using it. So I went ahead and added the copper never seize on here like I said I would do, and I also lubricated this arbor very well inside out. And this is the stuff I was referring to. This is a corrosion inhibitor. I'm going to have to look and see if they sell this in a bigger can, because that did not last long. But it is long lasting as far as protecting everything that is on. Well, I'm really going to enjoy this. I know my son is enjoying the other one. I appreciate y'all watching. Check them out. I will have a link down in the description box for this exact same drill. You absolutely cannot go wrong with this. So I appreciate you watching. I'm Russ Jones with Skill Savvy DIY.